Brand the car no abandon.
Bread wajina kunyao inshiraka neat etiefo nyina. Ozioma ADAKABRI oribo bebie.
The car no abandon.
Yesi okwan twa asuo ena asuo twa okwan panyin ni hwan a yebo okwan betu asuo ozioma ADAKABRI FRIMPONG MANSO wajina konya bebiewu
ya mama tnasio na ya mama ha yefri neat 100.9 FM so eni se yeba manasoi na enne eye wukuada na sanabusumi ne yewomu ne de toso aduonu 9 afi empinu aduonu emienu mam se abodonko apahomiti aduonu 9 na yetnase awie ye nsemo yede ba no bedema yafami ADAKABRI Mahmudu osioma misini yako karata watimani mawie amansa chiame Staff Sergeant Harrison Ford kwabna mafu amonhwemano tamika mafu no a na eyemi wofase majari osai ageman ono so etia si ana yese ye ho a enkomo na interview bi abefrem na ye de edidwuma na fen so production ne de panyini kwadwo damiado ene sini na so wajiji tata ede yakro ai na yasan ede aseda ede ama eye na kwe friye wano ena chese o service eye production teaming na fe ya ba behwe se technical production no so no abrafrema bankro o se mara michi mafa ai ana ya sapo so na ebo ni chidom na fe enu akire no eye engineering group achu agbo worker atiako na najare na nabuaje adasankro manso de yesane mrane sen sempro na fe facilities for no so big solo and dada ai ana yaw Godfred yesane mrane say you brana afe DJ Bosco ena mapuna na me sensu yesane mrane tetai ye omo na ehwe ama bibia koye on Facebook Live Benya Neat 100.9 FM Facebook Live ya Despite Media on YouTube ya other social media handles ni nyina na Abrafrema on na ya asafo ma da romanti ubehia ya so interactive so betimi din susu ya dia aba ya baji breso ni akan na yetimi amana fit in enkomo ya nyina didie na ye nyina yesua bibi ede afri emu na edru se number no so a de be WhatsApp no an 050 600 0909 090 600 0909 na ni nyina mu no yetimi akenkan na say text message you say SMS short messaging system and say WhatsApp ni nyina ne agebre na yetimi akenkan ya nadie and some of that hono GBK way. GBK way.
Yay.
Ya mama ho. Ni ya mama tnase. Hey. GBK before. Special prosecutor so ya mo ho. Asofu awama we se munyina munkwa urade anim. Na mompa ye ma special prosecutor. Say was say auction na wo wura mu no ma wonyai auction no asofo wa man mu nyina ya sramu a munkoto dwanyim munko awrade anim emompa ye say onyankropon wonka special prosecutor no ho na wama na kokodro no wama ni nyansan no wama ni hunu nkosi edo mom onhunu ntrap de wo hunu ni sese na ma onyaisa auction mo onyaisa investigation no
wafo ja kura ya besre no
wo ja kura ya besre no
wo ja ya besre so papa bi wo ye kura aso ma mfantini bi aya na wo ye bibia o de on mo na la ja no hwehwe ahwe na la no obohu ondo mo ankwasi ase se wonim na so wagya o senkase no a wo ye no
o senkase pe auction ahodo nyina
ya ne nsine so wo kurom ha se wonim na so wa dabi na wo pe ye akoya kakanto katane ye ani da dabi wo fa man no ye gusu aya ya pe no obi frame wase se adia chairman for secretary for organizers DCs amrasabega for free abemu adeko deputy one of staff sanko nyina one obi afa kwadi na dia wo to kwaya dai ukwaya investigation ya investigation no akwasi asese to ade ayasra ho no
kwabena sabe no okay nipa ni bi titwa say na o kase wo hot auctions no a eno ma ni bi ye ade center perishable goods dabi
wani onyanko
kwabena nim container bi ye frozen bi ano so omo de ba reefer ho na gapo a plug no in na. In fact, I'm plugging in every 6 hours. A bit see one for a year, 3 days. If it's I'm from a BM container, okay, and and one say every 3 days, Biano, Gabo have a plug on a year 6 hours a pay. Intimate Slamo, a Gapo manager, way. Miss Ramo, more beer, can be beer, say, and at the end, perishable. And you see, yana, yet disposing of one one said, Unia 1%, special prosecutor, some of the Kawa, go to your duties. Now you container. Go to your duty, Papa Pano. Now you container. Namena, Wavadena, I am a straw, 17 I had to say, oh, for once now, before I could bring. Aha. Wudia kwa me say containers se sia no asat enura najo me sources so habo e say 403 containers 403 containers and a normal so omo ya auction na container no be so be 2 months answer ya baba ya auction no so omo ya auction na be 100 of it 100 of it na ba ku bia average of 800 million your friend saying 800,000 cedis
800,000 Ghana
cedis container
about connected to 8 billion
inti no and now 100 at a time now they just say 80 billion.
Wow.
So no 80 million Ghana cedis
connected to say 800 billion.
So no na ya auction e de age 5 million cedis
na wafa baby akwa ne dia asem na fa no e de say
ekwabene asem ni tie wo man ma onyai na eye hwe revenue a ye lose so say calculation am ye kire no calculation ye kwabene
wafa mi tie
calculation ne say every 21 days no man e beje no it 2 months bia na say adaduanan bia no na ya ye de be na ya auction ya auction on average no 100 containers container ba ko so no eye enamunu wo mu a enamunu be $60,000 shipping cost gapoha fees and then ka duty obetua 120,000 no bi nyina on average no and number 800,000 cedis
800,000 Ghana cedis
800,000 almost average almost 100 of it and no na we computing at 800 million 80 million cedis
Ghana cedis
ni almost yeso na o ma ton no ya auction be 50,000 adia 800,000 no
pay auction
50,000 good it you turn 50,000 and just say state no enya 5 million cedis per out of possible 80 million cedis 80 million cedis no next state nenya to 75 no can offer ya pesika
yes
and what me am Ghana yetimi dia expenditure
yes
enti enei was so be ade no ye nya auction no a nipa bi ahase akeka say na ye perishable and ma kire ne say enei be 403 containers ni si ho na container bia no anse na be ye no auction na si wo be 2 months ansa na ye ba be ye no auction no na sa container no so si wa emframa bia fa container no anu nti gapo afo no omo plug no in every 6 hours be I plug in a container ne be siwa for 3 days. I have 72 hours. And son a bit here say, you better say they are plugging in. Gapo have also swashed me boss say, woman can say, Omo unplug BBR. On the plug in. Yes. It wouldn't hear. So 1% special prosecutor Bebo India. Coco to your duty.
Now, what for special prosecutor would die sad ya me cry me petition charge for and woman investigate you on one
petition here for
charge.
Any day.
Commission a commission on human rights and administrative justice.
Any from saying
charge.
Come on, to me, I said, Basabas, we are going to what you and you can say, and say,
What for me, a crime petition, woman say, identity and what track craft, idea, cose, who could investigation, no die. Not to the Yanis walk where you could do damwa. And no crowd, yes, and fan on Kuba. Sadia Yakwa Fabi. I am a day. Sa oxen no.
Ha! Ya revenue Magana.
Let's one nimble die.
Pese. Who contain the sea nearby cast auction ye jay na me and ye never saw would you to Tumrika 120,000 Coco Tiadeco you container
Eduardo ya tani ya kano ana emrasebe de ni ba ko sa ye pani wo emrasebe de fie ba bi ntimi mu en wo se na sa akwa no ha na suma no sa de
David nyame na asuma no
nyame na asuma no wo se she ade ne ya temu
nyame na asuma no
we was 70% we were 10% we so were 10%
nyame na asuma
na 10% nso ye we dia
nyame na asuma
da mo ade sa asam na mfa
nyame na asuma no
na me se sa na tie
nyame na asuma no
sa na eye way back mpo ena a commissioner general kasa to the letter Emma customs say the free and they date no ho oxen bia a woman na percentage be kwa percentage be enti waso obedom wasu kwa ye kisia jabe di asembeba
asem de wodi bia ba
ni nyina asembeba
yensrem paibo ma no
yes
ni yense akokoduro ma no
yes
yensre nyansa ma no yensre urade se oma ni hunu beyond the ohunu ni say
wasro suru ni je
auction sam no de one kangum di oni hono de woni ya won pese babodi kokotua duties na o my Ghana enya eye emfasodiem free duty no
of my empire mano was suru ina je awrade ya dikisia da be sa wonso ya de no ba wanim ya tia yanka bi nse mu anu waso akoya investigation edi afa oxen niama ho obodati free 2017 edi be si 2022 awrade ya de no ba wanim awrade ya de no ba wanim investigation ya waso obeye ya emani nyaida wondo mu asukwa ya di ko joda mu aba wanim wasi efidie ebiamu mokokua na bu aba henma ebiamu mokokua na bu aba henma le kabaye
ya bro adia we so be jaya
na kamera me petition right
ma bisa question ba
bisa ye be you
bisa wo ne kwamna
bisa
eze empire mo boy a ani me bisa wo kwamna ne ye rekisi ajabe se so be sha de na say from 2017 aba
from 2016 July
2016 July
and you see August 2021
it is a base yemu bia kwa akoto auction no amani bia they say yenoma yakoto a
so what
we ye ben one ben because what famra kwan so
good
my question is because you will feel no so tie question no
it is say ne sa auction no ama between 16th of July ebesi a broad a benchmark and another line to ho no so obi akwa akoto bi no wa famra kwan so na wakwa akoto na ode ade no kwa say nipa no ye be ne den obesan a return ana ye be menetu additional
why me offer as we busabi you can only go by the SP no otroye or say obia yemfa aye data ye auction no na yemfa clear description of auction no emfamra
Okay.
na nipa o benefit ye no a wo toye no yemfa ni din na address
Okay.
ni telephone number emfamra
Okay.
enti asama da ho ne say SP no or you use the word auction motor vehicles
Yes.
ankrofo de fra brochira ba
Yeah.
ayafa kana na so aje
Yes.
obi no akwa akoto sprinter used one e wo Germany and as a Belgium
Yeah.
on average no e be 400 euros
Euros. Yeah.
na odi akwa akoto odi duru ha say ya na ya je no 80,000 and na kura said the fluctuation about because 80,000 no about 6 weeks ago
Yeah.
nti enne no ebi kura 100,000
Yeah.
so no na ya be je ne seska no na wo mo asisi ewo mu no
Yeah.
enya de papa eye papa jonkofo penso tamo be kai a investigations bi bai say national security for om kogege sa cast no na om gigi wia na ya friend say ya dia kosisisi dwowulu ene achimota ha ni ya tonton ema ya bo obidini ade nyina no no ena ba akososo ye bo ni di no so ya adwuma wo seat of government
Yeah.
obeye MP ene wa free mu
Okay.
right
Yeah.
ena saade no ekoso na akoso a check say oh my Ghana yensisi oman masa
Yeah.
nanta ye sheda de eye chip abo Ghana ni akoda bia watoto makodura brochire say ye North America say ye Europe
Yeah.
say ye England na bra wo mo bra nanka chip no bonensa nanka print tetetetetete 1 year de oye ye nie tetetetetete 2 years ne de oye ye nie na ekwani obefa so a obetimi anya bibi kakra na ohwe na chi eno o say da memfa bibi mra
Yeah.
na ayetimi the system etna oman mu ama ono ne ho kire no se ne ho ankire no epo habo ho wie kura na de odi begya no se ton ma me no 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 so waye ne bibi o enti enne de make ma kire wo aye auction ho no ma na auction ba bi o mani boka any frozen foods no
Okay.
ta frozen foods no a o man e boka a wo mo de say Ghana din wa brochire no
Yeah.
enti ba bi a wakowura no nipa bi ahase putu pressure se ko bejai onyane na nyane kira mama me interview ba ko imra
wafa
e be yie president
wonim say omo ma no pressure so wonya investigation
ai
and na make us wo jai me akura me petition charge for
wodie eno an se mama me interview imra
koye bra
eye misinia ba ko okusua law waye BBC correspondent or experience na ninsam nkanitirim otwero books ayeye major election bi awie general elections a otwero book na odiaba na your friend Benjamin Emmanuel Epson Mr. B.E. Epson na ono eno ye editor in chief of the Daily Dispatch na o say factually reliable and reliably factual ni latest awade baye e kire say we publishing story be in June 2022 na in that story no and na we can say eye Canada compare kwa Japan wa benanim Alhaji Bawumia so de eye obesi na fait accompli na asem ni nyina kokowie say na nipa bi atwea no abia so na eye Bawumia ne kirematini o eye Bawumia ne ala ne no se hwe ebe munim de omokeka Canada kwa bia compare kwa Japan wano en wonne Bawumia de tentam so na alankwadwo kirematini de third kura no likely say bia obedi third into Wednesday edition of the Daily Dispatch. MPP's 2024 race is between Bawumia and Kennedy. Alan likely to be third analyst and what they buy. Mapo memoaho.
Oh, ADAKABRI, good afternoon. Me tell no ye say pujina.
Eja obi hunu Daily Dispatch dia na je say data any figures any short analysis and na bia wu hunu na o say Wednesday edition MPP's 2024 race is between Bawumia and Kennedy. Alan likely to be third. Alan is analyst. Cheche muchira ene.
You me that say to say what kind, you know. I'm currently finishing my 7th book on Ghanaian elections. Now, part of the book focus on MPP flag bearer groups. This is election limited to over 205,000 delegates who will vote. So we took a sample size of delegates before the elections of the new one. We took sample sizes of delegates of people who then were delegates. We did some work. Then after the election, we went back to the same constituencies because there was about 50-55% turnover, and went back to do the same thing. The first one, I had known since October last year that Kennedy could contest. Until that first one, it was if Kennedy was in about third place behind Bamia and Alan. After the elections,
Mr. Obrof na kan ye no near clean ye. So can say Kennedy was in the third place behind Baumia, behind Alan and Baumia, or behind Baumia and Alan.
Behind Baumia and Alan.
So it meant to say Baumia number 1, Alan number 2, and Kennedy. Baumia was leading.
Yes.
Okay.
Now after the elections, Kennedy has come out to say so about contested. Within that time, a year after elections research, in those constituencies, and in those constituencies, the top two were now Baumia and Kennedy, and Alan was in about third place. Now, I will give you two main reasons. The rest, the book will come out in about 6 weeks. I'll give you two main reasons why Kennedy seems to have, Alan seems to have fallen into the third place. Alan Tramatin peaked in 2007 within MPP. Come on, Alan Cash. Delegates who are 30 years and below. Delegates being the some Alan Cash speaking, 50 years. Okay. Alan has not worked in the party. Alan is known by delegates who are about 40 years now. Yeah, no, we name the 2007 he contested. Since then he has contested 2 or 3 times. Secondly, Kennedy Japan is in his 22nd year as an MP, or the 6th term. 24, but you know, I had 24 years. He is known within the party. So by the time I hear post-election research, Kennedy had come into second place. Now, I must let our listeners understand that until the elections are held, maybe next year, this is our projection. Because from 2007, 17 and impact 17, a contest, MP, delegates, candidates, fiber. A super college, electoral college will decide on the top 5. So the 2005 plus delegates, will vote for the top 5. ADAKABRI.
Enti, sir, permutations here walking. Uba can say a data driven and answer a suppositions.
Data driven.
Na data no yansabet me aka.
Oh, book Baba out about 6 weeks.
Na oka say Alan onye adwuma wo party num adwuma ben saa.
You see, the questions we asked, some of them were based on who do you know and why you vote for the person. Some of them say, oh, one will him. Alan Sherman, the minister. But in terms of, say, why you do more party, you are not aware. Those who have said they will vote for Alan, we could see from the demographics, there are those who are in their 40s who remember what Alan did in the 90s and so on. But for those very relatively young delegates, they don't remember what he has done. Now we need to bear in mind that if there are more than 5 and they are shortlisted to 5, those who drop out would ask their supporters to vote for possibly the shortlisted 5.
Enti omo yebusa womo omo kan say omo nim Alan na omo nim adwuma kura waye de ama party no. If we are to ask, say, at a time a Vice President Dr. Muhammad Bawumia or your Vice President no, na Alan a Trade Minister, right? And now before say Vice President Baba Vice President Mpono, na Alan no a Trade Minister and Akofo. Enti yemuso say a year day na obi a Trade Minister. I represented the New Patriotic Party, and now obi 30 years or less, or say Alan Cash. One thing said in Ukrada, when Nimunukura, when you mama party, no.
ADAKABRI, Utukwan, who be a police station executive, who be so on ministers run, minister of social and so, only. That is it. We need to bear in mind that Canada has been going around to make presentations in Parliament or around into some delegates police station. Who be say, why chief of staff, why minister of trade, why minister of finance? He doesn't know.
Anunti, what's it? Alan likely to be third. I mean, say, so likely no use of that word, so I watch them say you're data driven in. Likely, how are we to take it? Say, or 20%, or 15%, or 6%. And answer likely, how are we to interpret it?
When the book comes out, you see it.
Okay, and the book is out in about 6 weeks' time.
Yes, please.
Okay, it you bet me a focus so a highlight book no if indeed you perceive who researcher a renowned benefits na ya me adwene nkoso say you betwen book no.
Yes.
What mo can some basa say na ya tua sika de amana no work bibia tia Alan. What mo can some basa cancer da professor Alan be tua sika man to no church ansem. Ye wo mo ya bi di ma wo mo.
So I'll try to be as polite as possible.
Be it because we a senior person, it's in fair before yes. And our emotions and can be here.
So, David, Master, I spent my 30th birthday in solitary confinement under Rawlings. Don't fast and don't apart from the who's really. So, because obey car man. Tell you, as if the ballot box the vote is in my pocket. That's right, yeah, it's not true. Because ADAKABRI in 22 years, I've done 7 polls. I missed one. I got 6 correct. I've done 3 MPP will lose, 3 NDC will lose. If you go and collect money from a political party, say, I've done the research, you win this year's election. Like another time, can you write it? You can't write it. You cannot write it. Now, because I am baby dead, me yet delegate. Put me wrong. That's what you say. Yes, I mean, but it's the guy that Makata Alan, baby dead, and now Bibia. Delegates, they have their own mind. I think people shouldn't underestimate the average delegate, because my analysis of the 2020 elections indicates, say, a third of Ghanaian voters are swing voters.
A third of Ghanaian voters?
Yes. Only a swing voter will go to a polling station and vote for the parliamentary candidate of the opposition party and vote for the presidential candidate of the government in power. Only a swing voter will do that. NDC won 30 or 32 seats they lost, but their presidential candidate lost the presidential by 514,000 votes. He lost by 500,000 votes. And that is explaining the book.
Now, previous publications in the Daily Dispatch, Uncle Ben, Emma pie charting in a bemu. Ekuwie say, Shematinino, and as a the most popular person, MPP mu, and Alaja Liu Mahama. I'm sorry. Dr. Mamadou Baumia, and Joe Gatti, and Kennedy Japan. What informed sa publication, you know?
In my last book,
a publication in the Daily Dispatch about 6 months ago. I'm looking at. And the bar say in the pie chart, the most popular person in the MPP after Nanado, no, who can say Alan Chematine, followed by Alaja Lum, followed by Dr. Mamadou Baumia, and then Kennedy Japan, Joe Gatti, and Kennedy Japan in that order.
ADAKABRI is misinformed. Let me tell you, it is in my 6th book. What we did is when MPP went to corporate rights to elect the national officers, we talked to about over 70% of the delegates. And we asked them, apart from Nanalo, who is the most popular person? After that question, we asked them after Nanado. No, we asked them after Nanado, who will you vote for as flag bearer and why? So in the book, the answers are there as to who is most popular. And the answers are there as who they will vote for. I published it in the 6th book. The 7th book, I've done a similar thing with delegates before the election and delegates after the election.
In the 6th book, the Ubusa, with me a refreshing percentage-wise, who was the most popular and they are likely to vote for, and who was the second most popular, and who was the third most popular?
The most popular was Kennedy Japan, followed by Baumia, Let me refer to the book. Followed by, I'll give you the percentage. The most popular was Kende Japan, 26.9%. Second, Baumia, 21.9%.
Mm-hmm.
Third, Alan, 20.7%. Fourth, Jogati, 19.3%. Jambuchi, 9.7%. And others, 1.4%.
Inti, who publishes no our daily dispatch monso so ana.
Yes.
It is obi person or contradicted the what can say who publishes say Alan the most popular. Anna and ne who see there be who can say Canada Japan the most popular. All the person needs to do say obey produce the older copy of Daily Dispatcher. Oh yes, our publication no no.
The person is reading things upside down. Because in the book, the next question was, who will you want to be the party's flag bearer after Kufuado? When people are talking, they shouldn't guess. There were two questions we asked. Most popular, and who will you vote for? And why? So we say in that dispatch, I wrote that Alan Chamatin was the most popular. The person is a liar. He should produce that dispatch and bring it to me.
Educate in the most popular, you are saying to us in the sixth book, we will find it. Aye Canada Japan, followed by Aye Baumia, followed by Aye Alan, followed by Joe Gatti. Who would you like to be the flag bearer after Nanano? Sign and also some figures nearby.
Alan Chamatin had 26.9%. Joe Gatti 26.2%. Now, Alan, the reason we ask for reasons.
Oh, but at least but at least you are saying, say, who would you want to be the flag bearer after Nanano? It was true. Alan had the highest vote, isn't it?
In 2018, yes.
Okay.
Jogate was second. Alan was 26.9. Jogate 26.2. Kennedy 24.8. Baumia 21.1.
That was when?
2018.
Okay.
At the Congress in Kofribua.
Yeah.
You understand?
So two questions. Very important. You have educated Diana on TSA. There were two questions. The most popular and who would you want to be the flag bearer?
So in the next book, I'm going to reproduce all this.
Please do.
And run side by side with the current one I've done. You see, people throw Buka at the home. You can't lie.
But at least, Ubaya analysis of why in 2018, Alan would have been the preferred flag bearer after Nana. Then Baumia was fourth on the line. Then in 2022, Baumia first on the line. Kennedy Japan second. Alan third. Would you want to do an analysis of why a change in the 4-year cycle?
I've done it already.
Okay. But then when you say, Alan enye juma ewo party num, and the party.
You are talking a message. You are talking about a delegate.
Yes.
Who is talking about somebody he has heard about.
So in effect, you become a third person reportage.
Yes.
Okay.
You understand? Let me see. Relatively, those who wanted Alan were those who are reflecting on what Alan has done. Young Executives Forum, They understand. Obia within 30. Alan Cash type within 15 years. They are not kind. People get emotional, and I don't get it. Well, what man said?
Yeah, but you can explain it off by your responses here. What they be? Obia onim in the midst of uncertainty, somebody may be emotional, but when there's a real data before the person, it now, Uncle Ben, young show, Alan, almost woman, no. Yet in 2018, almost one the next flag bearer after Nana.
In 2018, we spoke to those who were voting for the national executive. They were less than 10,000. This one, we did more than 10,000.
Yeah.
It's like those who voted for the national executive at Accra Sports Stadium. This one was, what we did was more. Because the flag bearer to be elected by over 205,000 people. We didn't do anything at just Accra Sports Stadium.
Yeah.
We didn't do anything there. So what we did were those who were you understand, who elected as national executive. And that was the basis for the 2018 report.
Yeah.
For this one, we did more. And we deliberately did the constituency before the election of constituency and polling station constituency executives. And after the elections, we went back and did it in the same constituencies. The comparison is there, ADAKABRI.
Yes, and we would await the book in 6 weeks' time. Enti yes. Ma yenhwe. One more obeti me a pick just about the time will be a Benepsin figures and any data echo over the bar. Now what they are confronted Benepsin of today. Yeah, kind of saying say Benepsin can say Mahama be winning, Mahama winning, Benepsin can say John Bodo be winning when winning. Benepsin can say Wuntumi be lusu when we winning. Into omo pick sa no man no mo de confront real data wo kan ho asem na ye wo mo ye bi di ma wo mo.
Oh yes, you see, in 22 years I've done 7 polls. I missed one, 2016. The mistake I did was the same mistake US polls did in 2016. That is, we didn't take into account apathy. Sir, party need something.
So it was a mistake.
Yes.
Okay.
So in 22 years, my success rate is 83%. In 22 years, I missed one, got 6 right. Now, with regards to John Bodo, people don't listen. What I said was that in intra-party elections, when an incumbent is unpopular, he's about 40% popular. What an astute politician will do is to help find people who are popular to contest against him, because they will take part of the votes. You get me? Yes. Concerning who to me, there are videos. I'm sure you've seen it.
Yeah.
Of money being shared. One of the contestants who contested in the chairmanship for Ashanti region has a video of money being shared. And they said, 22 years, my airport, let me were 83%. Let me hear mistake. They come with posts, don't believe me. Nobody needs a license to do opinion polls. You can also do opinion polls yourself. What am I saying? And they said, what can I say? In 2000, I said it will go to a runoff and Kufuor will win. He won. 2004, I said Kufuor will win first round. He won. 2008, I said it will be a close election. It will be a runoff, and the person who would win by a margin of 50,000. Mills won by a margin of 40,000. In 2012, I said NDC will win first round. He won. In 2016, I said NDC will win and MPP won. In 2020, I said MPP will win and Akufo-Addo will win with not less than a margin of 500,000 votes. And he won with 514,000 votes. I think, humbly speaking, I'm proud of my track record. Humbly speaking.
But at least you've been magnanimous enough to say, with the Mahama Bay, you made a mistake by not incorporating apathy.
Yes. In the US, for example, if 5% more blacks had turned out to vote, Hillary would have won. But because Hillary insulted the blacks when he was competing with Obama for the Democratic slot, did not turn out to vote. In 2016, the power base of the NDC voted from the voter range, just as Ashanti is the power base of the MPP, did not turn out to vote for NDC. It's when you learn from your mistakes and you improve.
Yeah. Just before you go, Mr. Benjamin Emmanuel Abson, editor-in-chief of the Daily Dispatch and a renowned pollster, some may disagree, but at least...
Obi agree, Obi disagree. That is the least of my problems. Somebody would never like you. I don't care. But I think that in 22 years, having done 7 polls, missed 1, and got 6 spot on, I'm not forcing anybody to say I'm good. People will judge. American, you don't need a license to also do opinion polls.
Yeah. Okay. Just before you go, August 13, Mranti Maba will be in the Ashanti Regional Capital, Kumasi. I organize what they dubbed the Aduru So Health Work in sympathy with the aspirations of Alan Kojo Martin, in which they were asking, say, Obama the clearest indication yet of his preparedness to lead the MPP. What do you make of Sir work no?
To give weight to it, any of the candidates who organizes a walk, Japan, Alano, Apriko, and people come. The question you should ask yourself, honestly, how many of these people are delegates?
And do we know who were delegates?
I don't know. That's a question. You should ask yourself, why or walk mouth? Don't be swayed by the number of people who come. It is when your coordinators at the various places bring people to join, and your coordinators know that these people are delegates, and then you, the beneficiary of the delegate of the work, you can be happy.
Me follow the Kenyan. If you are to evaluate and process the numbers, likely conclusions.
Unless, for the numbers, You cannot take it in totality in terms of the immediate one, election of a flag bearer, which will be done by elected delegates. It is a way of flag bearer aspirants. Let's say, work to support you, and 2% are delegates. You can't take the numbers. If 80% are delegates, then you can be assured. I don't know. So it is not the size of it, it's the nature of the delegates.
So, like you said, you are fair to suggest, say, you do not know the number of them who were who are delegates. So, you are suggesting, say, if 80% of those who undertook the work are delegates there, then you could be happy.
Yes, that person should be happy. I don't know them.
Enti, sir, we are delegates of a particular political party. Na uhunu say, yes, a huge number way at the streets of Kumasi, ostensibly walking in sympathy with a candidate who aspires to be your flag bearer. Could a delegate be swayed? Hey, so nipa we ya badia, I don't say what you beyond. Obet me a sway in the mind, and
I think that the majority of delegates who have been elected may have taken a decision on who to vote for already. Maybe a third are likely to be amenable to change their mind. Majority of those who are newly elected may have made up their minds already. Only a third or a quarter may be swing and could change.
So delegates of up to say 200,000, between 50,000 to 70,000 of them are amenable to change, but the majority of it, 150,000 to 140,000, 130,000, are not likely to change their views.
It's likely.
Na book naba. Now we will give it a good read. Na yesuya bibi edi afrim. Agaben yadu asepa.
ADAKABRI.
Right. Benjamin Emmanuel Epson of the Daily Dispatch, a poster, and now ne say Yabusano and Sam Kakra or they actually mono. And there is this university lecturer whose forte a year political marketing and or non so Yabusano Kakra. Where the suggestion say Ben Epson is engaged in suppositions as opposed to real data evaluation. Dr. Kobi Mensah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ADAKABRI.
Nyamina dum yan huye mfantefo na so no why posters no why political marketing. Right. Doc, Ben Epson is telling us that in 2018, when delegates were asked as to who would they prefer to become the next flag bearer after Nanado, majority of them said Alan Kojo Chiramatene, and Dr. Mamad Bawumia was in a distant fourth. And then 4 years later, he's asking, who would you want to be flag bearer? A majority are saying Dr. Mamad Bawumia, and second next is Ken Japan, and Alan Chiramatene is in a distant third. What do you make of it?
Well, but I think that we have been students of Uncle Ben. They work on it. A bit of the first work I had it, as part of my thesis. So I respect his work very much. You see, I can say that I'm a student of Uncle Ben work on it. I think my reaction was towards analysis regarding the particular heritage. And I think I analyzed it based on the exact words you see. The idea there why some work regarding how people will vote, but supporting the position, the evidences were not so it was evident from that particular way, but his opinion. And that is what I was asking now. So therefore, if in the past, who had actually suggested that
Enti one more.
hello?
Doc, hanu ajire ye kakra de amai.
Yeah.
Good.
Then what do you call later on they voted for somebody else. It tells you that in the election, whether it's a local or whether it's a what do you call internal election or general election, there are quite a number of variables at stake that people would use to vote. Now, the argument that whether a lot of people have trooped in would influence or not influence delegate choices. I think that delegates also are people in the society. Mm-hmm. They are not oblivious of what is happening within the society. And if you ask me what is the number one premise based on which delegates select presidential candidates, of course, it's for them to win elections. Mm-hmm. And if delegates will call elections, clearly they see that there is a general likability towards a particular candidate. They wouldn't just say that they will, would not take that into consideration, but on the other factors. So there are so many factors that actually come into play. One of them, crucially, is about whether there is someone that is electable. There's someone that could help them to achieve the collective goal of the political party, which is the premise based on which the delegates vote.
So, in your view, say a particular candidate in the case of August 13, when you or no work in sympathy with the aspirations of Shematini, if the delegates indeed are also part of the society and they live in the communities, and they are likely to be swayed by the likability rates of, say, Alan Shematini.
Absolutely. I mean, why would a political party such as MPP go into the election? They don't go and add up to the numbers. They go into the election with the determination to win the election. And so is the mentality of the delegate. It's a collective goal. So if you were talking about PNC, CPP, who practically know that they do not have the capacity to win elections, you could say that the delegates will select their leadership or their presidential candidate based on other factors. But for a party like NDP, the leadership or the delegates are preoccupied with the mentality of winning. And so they are part of the society. If the society thinks that things are not going well and it's staring in their faces that potentially a certain candidate will call or would make them lose, why would they go and select that particular person? So they will be preoccupied, of course, with their own needs as a delegate, but predominantly with the idea that a certain candidate would make them win the election. That's the bottom line.
Doc, sir, yet what some you say a year. Now you are suggesting, because in fairness, Benson admits, say, the people who thronged the principal streets of Kumasi, marching in sympathy with the aspirations of Chematino, he doesn't know whether they are delegates or not. But then, whether they are delegates, he could be laughing. They are not delegates. He could be. They could be swayed. Their actions could sway delegates. No, you are saying, say, yes, we should not discount it.
Absolutely. I mean, if you have a certain group of people who have been given the ultimate task to select a candidate that would make them win the election, and the society is certain. And I'm not saying the society is towards Alan Chapman. We're just making an argument on that. And the people actually, the delegates actually say that the society is tilting towards a particular candidate. They would not be oblivious of that reality. In as much as they have that responsibility to select the one who would make them achieve the collective goal of winning, the least that could happen to them is for them to have a conflict, even if they have any other candidate other than the one they see the society tilted towards. They're going to be in a dilemma. You couldn't argue that the actions of the society would not matter. You couldn't argue that. The least you could argue is that they could have a conflict because they probably have somebody in mind and the society is tilting towards another person. Even then, when they have that dilemma, the ultimate collective goal of winning would play heavily on their mind, and as a result, would tilt towards that.
Until this time round, suggestions say Alan Chemate is not known in the MPP, especially to persons under the age 30 or less. Can we evaluate that? And do we know, say, any part of those? What do you mean?
I don't think that's a realistic argument. I mean, if you are in MPP, you are you are at the age of 30 years. It doesn't matter whether you became MPP member at the time when Alan was competing with Ronaldo or not. You would definitely get to know who Alan Chemate is. In fact, when you look at the literature, what we call political knowledge or what we call political, awareness is not as a result of years or as a result of education. It's a socialization issue. It is not an issue of gender. It's not an issue of age group. It's not an issue of education. It is a socialization issue. So even if you are at the age of 8 years and you're in an environment that has a very high political socialization, you will get to be aware of it. So for somebody like Alan, who is in an MPP, all these years, whether you are age of 30 or 20 or whatever you are a delegate, you certainly know who Alan is. It cannot be realistic that such a person would not know, especially if they are delegates. You're not talking about ordinary voters who some of them are not really political, and so they probably don't know some political figures. But if you're a delegate, through socialization, you definitely know who the party leaders are.
Doc, you would spare us 80 seconds of your year. You try, say, you better reconcile a publication in the Daily Dispatch in 2018 with the current publication. Now, Benepson tried to recall, said there were two questions asked at the time: who is the most popular after Nanado, and who would you want to see as the flag bearer after Nanado? Who was the most popular? He said it was Kennedy Japan, followed by Dr. Mama de Baumia, and then Joe Garte, and then Alan Chemate. Then who was likely to be the flag bearer? Now, who would you vote for as the flag bearer after Nanado? It was Alan Chemate, Kennedy Japan, Joe Garte, and Dr. Mama de Baumia in a distant fourth. Now, okay, let's play back in 80 seconds. Response is Sibia, Benepson, Edema, Sofupanini, Osebunsu, of Asempa FM. Give us just about 80 seconds. Let's play it up.
Yeah. You can put that out.
Then you be sang for there. Who will you vote for as flag bearer? First was Alan Chemate. What's in there? Or you need time. Second was Drogati. What's Western Central for? What woman did this time one call her? Third was Kennedy Japan. What's the Kennedy was Penasam? Banakuma Hall. put the work for now, swing voters
see
into
say
Mama.
on Asempa FM.
Fourth was Dr. Baumia. Also only 10 or a young Concombra.
And we're 2018.
2018.
Okay.
Because in that the next time I hear so many delegates, MP delegates at the place and will be 2022. And the fifth was Dambuchi. Was
Right, Dr. Kobe Mensah. In one breath in 2022, when you Alanchre Martine, especially when you are 30 or less, in 2018, what's we drew nedo? Na Dr. Baumia on drew nedo. But 2022, Dr. Baumia on our Noriko. When you evaluate and process this, what will be your conclusions?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at 2018 to 2022, just about 4 years, I don't think that anybody would be a delegate, now, who would not aware of the political scenario 2018. It means that even for you to come and look at the internal system, people actually socialize with the political for some time before they get opportunity to become delegates. So for us, said that it was his time. And for us to say that a lot of people, I think it's difficult to read yourself. Because certain 4 years down the line, they probably had deepened their understanding or their awareness of our life. Or they were not within the political pattern at all. Of course, people can change their position. So if you say that at the time prepared and now is not, I can understand. But for you to say that at the time he was a prepared, but now majority of just okay, I think it's difficult to understand.
But could it be, sir, in 2018, those who preferred Chemate in the majority are no longer in existence in 2022?
Of course, you could argue that, but it would be a stretch to actually argue that a lot of them are no longer in existence. Knowing the cycle of, internal party, processes, most people retain positions, or those who didn't retain their position, or those who were not even the leadership earlier, will certainly have a certain awareness of that particular candidate. Some of them might have actually entered being Alan, supporters, and they were not there. Alan supporters, some people who are Alan supporters might have entered, but you wouldn't have a seat change as the analysis is actually suggesting. I don't think so. It's just a matter of 4 years. You wouldn't have a completely seat change like that. You could have a certain 10 points, maybe 15 point, percentage point reduction in his popularity or not, but you couldn't have a complete, substantive decline if we have to go by the 2018 analysis compared with current analysis. I don't think it's realistic.
Just before you go, Dr. Kobe Mensah, lecturer at the University of Ghana Business School, with a specialty in political marketing. With the 3 main persons named, or we talk about them this afternoon, Alan Chrematne, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, Kennedy Akompreko Japan. In 2018, Benepson is told, and he repeats it to us in a third-person reportage, say, Kennedy Japan, Nakuma enye, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, or ye young in Nuno so, Alan Chrematne, a druno so. As a political marketer, look at it, evaluate it yourself, process it yourself. What would you want to say about Sani Panamiensa?
I think that, and it's not based on any data. It's just based on, theoretical analysis. If you look at 2 candidates, Alan and, President, Vice President, Baumia, you can see a certain mobility in their brand image. Obviously, prior to 2016, Baumia has quite a lot of reservations around him, which we know, which is a fact. Of course, his performance in the court case, and then, of course, his performance in the election actually moved him very higher in terms of voters likability. Or I should put it, maybe MPP supporters and sympathizers likability. So he had a complete change of his brand image. Fast forward 2020, and there's a complete decline of Baumia's likability. It is no secret. And this is a fact, of course, based on what we see and people's comments, etc. Even within his own camp, they couldn't claim that his level of brand acceptability prior to 2016 is at the same level as now. Anyone who would actually make that argument really is not oblivious of the political system. Now, take Alan Chamartin, for example. Clearly, before 2016, let's say the early part of 2000 or 2007, of course, everybody would say that he and Anado were at that level. Now, fast forward into the government 2016, 2020, he had been somehow on the lying low, as somebody would like to say, certainly for many reasons, because the competition between him and Anado is over. Now Anado is the president. So you wouldn't have a minister trying to upstage his president. It wouldn't happen. It doesn't happen in Europe. It doesn't happen in America. When Obama competed with Clinton after the election, Clinton has to lie low. I mean, she has to lie low. She became, the secretary of the. I've forgotten the position, but yes. But in the next, period, she decided to resign so that she could give Obama, the space to operate, and that's how political competition is. You, at a time of competition, you will compete aggressively. When somebody ascends the throne, you go under fire. And so you could argue that his brand, in terms of, visibility, publicity, has taken a certain level because he's no longer competing with another. So he's on top. If you take, Kennedy Tapon, for example, I don't think that majority of Ghanaians, from what we see and anecdotal evidence, actually would ascribe presidential characteristics to Kennedy. But I don't think himself earlier, before the time that he made the decision, would have actually thought that way. Although his brand awareness or brand recognition was high, it wasn't within the realm of a presidential candidate. Of course, now he's taking a different decision, and I'm sure he probably will be undergoing a certain rebranding of his image. But if we talk about at the level of presidential brand awareness, at the level of presidential brand image, you couldn't actually compare Japan to Sanchama and to Vice President Baumia. That is not
Right. So, in political branding, since 2007, Alan Chamartin has branded himself Alan Cash, jobs for the people, cash for the people. Of the three persons, has anybody been able to make a political brand of that nature?
Well, you could argue that, Vice President Baumia certain brand entity, obviously, very common, very prior to 20, we knew that, everybody economic way, the way he from the front. So he has to think like around, all around. Now, that's why to people who believe in that brand, I think it's a challenge. Now, it takes, and for example, over the years, his brand identity has all along the line. Well, would you say that I don't who have that in a reflection? Perhaps a certain number of people, and as the Ben just said, within the general voter population may not necessarily have that particular brand image because they probably might not have engaged the political system actively as the activists of the NPP or the followers of NPP might have done. So if you take a general political population as in the general voter, some may not have that inclination of job for the people, cash for the people. But I'm sure that those in the political party MPP, especially activist delegates, would definitely have a very great, amount of, capitalization of as such.
Mm. Dr. Kobe Mensah, you know where we, but then there's a new information. We may need to process it and send a Friday now. You delve deeper into it. New information coming from Global Info Analytics. July poll that they released, and they have now processed it further as to the regions, 9 regions that MPP lost out to the NDC, the 7 regions that the MPP won against the NDC, and the 4 regions that were swing regions. In this instance, they look at Greater Accra, Western, Central, and the Northeast are the swing regions. And what they are saying is that in the regions that MPP won, a hypothetical race between Chematin and John Mahama. Chematin does so well. And then in that same hypothetical race between Muhammad Bawumia and Mahama, Mahama goes further than he's running against Alan. But then you go to the regions that NDC won over the MPP, and Bawumia appears to be doing well in those regions. But then the key is the swing regions. In the 4 swing regions, Bawumia is lower, Mahama is higher up, but then Alan ties up with JDM in the 4 swing regions. Perhaps something that we may have to send you the information, look at it closely, and then we may evaluate and then also hear from Info Analytics what they mean by the new information, new data they have brought up. But for now, we thank you so much.
All right, thank you for having me.
Right, Dr. Kobe Mensah, and Yanina Dinkomoi. So, with their Ben Aka, and their Kobe Aka, and their Info Analytics at the Betum, we ask who is down flat. And then when we know who is down flat, we can only reassure ourselves, say, Baba will be the demo was it just a meto a yellow piwa mano. Na a down flat and what me the asadi achemi. I go every year, my musu and I'm sabo unibium. My musu is sabo unibium. I go am sabo unibium. I feel brave, besa. From my mum, Obia, one is a man, Ugusuti it 100.9 FM and on a text message, WhatsApp messages, young count kakra. Also, good afternoon, sir. Also, good afternoon, sir. Father ADAKABRI. Enjoy me, Manti show live inside Queensland with Angela Kosua Kwendu sister. Wisdom Nana AJ, aka Kanana, both inside Coventry. Nana Kuyada Akua, aka Lady Kiss, inside Wembley. Prince Okra, Sandro Okra, Kofi Frimpong inside Queensbury. Love Brefo inside Nottingham. Doreen Opokuya of Wolverhampton. Ago Mercy inside South Bermondsey. Richmond Kwabnapia, aka Obasanjo of Greenwich University. Kofi Stone inside Manchester. Emmanuel G. Star Frimpong, aka Nigaji, inside Bracknell. And Nanas Like Quarter inside Wolverhampton. Wafa. A lot of loopholes are in our various sports. So managers must act in their games to up their games to boost our revenue generation in our various sports. Wafa ADAKABRI. Please kindly wish Nana Krama inside Wolverhampton a glorious happy birthday for me. From Vicky, Doreen, and the rest of the family celebrate you today. Nana, kind regards reaching out to Kwajoda Akun, aka Cash, and George Kwemensa, aka Kwenana, both inside Dubai. Anna Ode Ebaye. Now, other messages, Facebook Live was one more, Yansan Enko, WhatsApp for one so. Also saying, Father ADAKABRI, I believe Ben Epson has been misled. He should consider the percentage difference between the MPP, Nanado, and Alan Chamatin for the flag bearership race. So putting Alan third is totally unbelievable. Ericus Gaspar, Bechele, Anna Odifria, Wade Ebaye. Also, Wafa. Good afternoon. Please, I totally disagree with Ben Epson. We all know that the former president stands tall, but as a member of the MPP, I believe strongly that Alan is the best person that we should vote for to represent the party. But when you bring Baumia, it will be a mistake. Dr. Kofi Annan from Dakuma. Thank you, ADAKABRI. And also, what they ever was Mr. ADAKABRI, Alan being an Asante man and a minister, Alan doesn't have to a constituency in Asante, in MPP, Asante, and also, Obusa, we say. Then, or say, Amen. Good afternoon. Nasama Ondo Adebaya. Or say, good afternoon, ADAKABRI. I'm listening to you live from WA. We will not downplay Ben's research, but Alan will emerge victorious. I am Bala Yele, and Ode Ebaye. Or say, I'm taking Rashid in Tema, Gulf City. Well, Father ADAKABRI, yes, our Wali project is on course believe me. Greetings to Nana, greetings to MPP Savannah Regional Chairman, Professor Alhaji Idris Sulemana, Calamonia, Ena Ode Eba, yeah. Also, I'm Cabinet Freedom, also called Billy Hu from Anyako. Wafa, good afternoon. Wafa, I always blame the government for those mistakes. Did you know that Toyota Corolla was auctioned last 2 years, 3,500 CDs? Wafa, go to the harbor yourself and see the corruption there. If you do not take time, your BP will go up. And also, what they ever, also, good afternoon. Good afternoon, sir. It's Babangida from Kingsby who said, good afternoon, Mr. Host. My name is Babangida from Kingsby Runabout, New Achimota. I like your program, but sometimes you discuss about matters. Sorry to say, it doesn't need straight matters. It don't need that straight matters needed. Okay, I can't get it right, but you are trying to at least caution. It is a caution accepted in good faith. Or saying, I'm Misko Spelele from Kasua, aka Awakumsin Tuaso, Wafa. You are loud and clear in Kasua Republic. Thumbs up to President Nana Akufo-Addo for the massive development in the Savannah region. Nana Tuaso Ana Ode Eba ye. Na Ose Baumia is the only option for us to break the ice. Adwa Akuma or Nadia Mame Ana Ode Eba ye. Ose predictions don't win elections. Apu Maneuver statement at Pantam Village Ana Ode Eba ye. Ose Wafa. I am sad this afternoon, rough. Now, academia exchanged his reputation for money. Look at how Dododo is suffering to defend the pocketful polls. That's the power of money. Uncle Dododo, don't follow money to throw your hard-earned reputation to pigs. Kwame, Abekala Pass, Ena Odifriya, Wade Ebaye, Mystic, Inside and Swama Duajiri, Ena also the Baye, or saying NDC Deputy Communication Officer, hopeful. It's inarguably clear and undeniably fact that the dollar has rather arrested Dr. Baumia and Ode Ebaye. Also, good afternoon, ADAKABRI. I think the conversation amongst the MPP shouldn't be who becomes the next flabberer. It is prudent they sell the good deeds of the party to the citizens. That will certainly play major roles in breaking the ice. For now, let's adhere to the cautious of the National Executive, Teacher Kofi, and Swam Amam from Anna Odebaye. Back to the issue of Port and Seminole, the Ecosuo.
Tie oha echi ponkno needs FM.
Hey catch it list ni nie enyo ma beto to dia me baba no hwade no hwem so betumi a asew na obeka ya jontuma miensa duku potomanto this way chocolate drink na kan wo hwe afibian so beri ni waware ni a this way chocolate drink na kan sia asew udan kwanu ntumu ho me be mo anu nso hye kura dia ka ho hwade a wapi ho o gasa batete edafom wo this way chocolate drink
Crash up a pair, Baba Warrior.
Aso,
Yefia said this way chocolate drink, your Soriano Panuni. Ye bishop free genome snack. Yenya who I don't yet serve woman. Ye did really a pebibia bogu yad yasua. This way chocolate drink in Yanum. And at this one, what's Yanua? Has such a woman, cocoa wom, pricky wom, bibia wom, I don't hear any so here.
This way chocolate drink.
You hear any so here.
FDA, I just said you didn't crack too much to say a ye.
Cool, fresh and trendy with a new look. Makes you feel real good, that refreshing vibe. Satisfies you right just the way you like. Do you know? Do you know? Natural mineral water. Feel different. Think special. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Tie oha echi ponkno needs FM.
NIT 100.9 FM Suni. na ene Wednesday August 24 2022 time just about approaching 6 minutes to 3 in a minute na yene a guest at Nasi na ene specifically we want to deal with a special prosecutor customs division and then and somewhere equals to the port. But before then, no, share a release from the La Bianca Company Limited. And to say La Bianca Company Limited, Piobos, tema. And then say management of La Bianca Company Limited is saddened to learn of the recent publication of the alleged report by the Office of Special Prosecutor regarding the activities of the company and its subsequent discussions in the media. Although the Office of the Special Prosecutor has not written formally to the company on its findings as required by due process and fair trial rules, we believe that the report findings are at variance with our recollection of events and submissions made to the office. We deny that the company and its chief executive officer, Mrs. Asumahene, procured customs advance ruling through, and this is in quotation marks, and I quote, influence peddling or trading of influence, unquote. We take the findings of the Office of the Special Prosecutor seriously and have consequently instructed our lawyers to take the necessary action on this matter. Over the years, the company has, in accordance with due process, applied for customs advance rulings under the Customs Act 2015, Act 891. Indeed, over the years, the company has been tax compliant and has discharged all its obligations dutifully. Due to the nature of the operations of importers like us, the Ghana Revenue Authority, per Act 891, conducts periodic post-clearance audit to determine possible undervaluation or overpayment of taxes. Consequently, the assumption of jurisdiction by the Office of the Special Prosecutor on such post-clearance audit and our settlement of such taxes arising from such an audit is not synonymous with corruption and or corruption-related activities by the company. The several communications between the Office of the Special Prosecutor and the company confirm this. As importers of quality frozen foods, we would always comply with the laws of Ghana. La Bianca Fuena etro ede ebaye. Ose adwuma mpanifu a womo da La Bianca adwumakuo no ano no. Ewre aho se na anu ye ba edi beke ebedi nkomo efa nkrata bia efifiri special prosecutor na adwumam ede ebaye efa adwuma La Bianca ehu ene sedie enipa se twen ya no bia so edi ho nkomo ewo media num. Ai yenhye no so se eye special prosecutor no ontro krata emfa emedan eye La Bianca sedie n'adwuma ototo ye no baabia akowie baabia akosie senka emramu no ene senka ne hyehyemu yesi ye no no enso so yede ye gitum se sa ade yi a special prosecutor watwro ede abeya ye ka ho nsem no ene eye yen ne nkuta hodi a yedi ye no ebo ebra na yanyintum da say ye chief executive officer eye Mrs. Owura Yere Asoma hene wono advance ruling na custom for the man no eye say ye bubon nkrofo akese dini ene obi a wodi mu ewo mamu nti ena ye de ma no na eye nhyehyeye no a special prosecutor wodi abeto dwa no ye de ye fa ne say eye aksam kese ede mayen enu nti ye de akwakodan ya lawyerfo se wo mu hwem na futuo bi mpo wo mu a wo mu fa ntu yen emre sentini nie eye La Bianca adwumakuo no se de enhyehyeye esitia no yetimi kɔ eye customs fo no na se de customs mra no eye emra kase ya friend Customs Act 2015 Act 891 yekɔ ho na ni nyina mu ekowie se ye de dan nyina no yetuatua yeto edema oman Ghana ene asudie bi eda yeso no ye hwe ne ye ne pepepe nti enei se wo hwe eye sede ye ne ye kra no made ba a ye labianka ye ka ho bi ene Ghana Revenue Authority eye emre ya ye board ni at 891 esitia no ewo mu ana customs fo no omutimi si akire abebe hwe kura se wo bi a wayi ne no makura awie no omutu di ne se post clearance audit omutimi be hwe se yei wotia de ne sese wotia ma oman no ana wei otia kura ema ne broso ana ene etu kura no he se senate kura na wo ye kura no a woni wo district office idilie no area office idilie no eye compliance fo timi si akire eba wo ka kire se hwe no wa nkwa ka bibia nkire wo district fo no na emum no fa adie wei fabra compliance office na compliance fo no hwe se waye de mra no se yenya ana yei ene ode toto ho se eye GR fo no timi si akire wo friend eye periodic post clearance audit na so mu si akire ko hwe se sika wuti aye na anso ana se eboro so se ya ebetimi aba se ebetimi asi yie ntino enne yi a eye special prosecutor wakwaji se adwuma no ede aye no nukure nie se wusi akire na akoye de customs fo kura omo ya na no nkire se obi akoye kitahyehe de proye ana wakodi dwa bia ne kitahyehe ne proye enenam ye company ne de yentesa na enkrata bebreni eye nkutahudi a ye ne special prosecutor no officer die no enkonkosi bia no a special prosecutor no work no na ye de labianka fo eye enam a afrigie a ye de bo ma we mu no eye papa ene ye de ba na ye nso so da nyina no Ghana mra ena ye bedi so labianka adwumakuo no ena o matwere we ede aba ena ye so so ye de mpai bo ta akire se enei no special prosecutor no obi amon pai ma no na onye die ebema o my Ghana yetimi aye de benia yetimi enya eye duty no na yede ahwe ye ho nti enei obia nkonkotua ne duty obia nkonkotua ne duty obia ntena nkase ye beye bibia ena yede ayede ayede amano Kwame Sapon every Dortmund Germany and what we yaba yanto ebo asene yankenkan kakra or say sponsored polls or the polls are sometimes like capital market speculations. Certain times speculations are deliberately brought in to drive the capital market in a certain direction. Polls are sometimes like capital market speculations and are sponsored to influence an outcome. With what Ben Epson is bringing out is an establishment sponsored polls. Sometimes some win the polls and others win the real elections. Those that may be disadvantaged at the polls go ahead to work hard to win. Team Allen should rise and work hard and not to be solely headed based on the August 13 match in Kumasi. Way back in 2014, the agenda 2020 was in line with Allen as Crown Prince. I stand for Allen. Keep on the good work of ADAKABRI, Kwame Sapon, Dortmund, Germany, and wadi free ya, wadi ebaye. Inti sabre we say no. On Facebook Live, ye share messages ni bisu a ewo honom na ene so no yenkinkan na fe no yemfa emra yenim. Ose Kamas on Facebook Live. Ben Epson is not serious. Suleiman Kweno on Facebook Live. ADAKABRI, was it not the same Ben Epson who told us that John Boyd was going to retain his seat? And what happened? He has explained to us. The CA. Kojo Amedome. Good afternoon, Mimenti midweek edition. Family, thanks. And Augustus Sechi. ADAKABRI, I listened to Ben Epson months ago with the most popular Kenya Japan was first followed by Dr. Baumia. Felix Opongo, the game changer, Honorable Kennedy Japan, can break the 8 from Dachehine, Nanako Jopon, Bimpinasi, Darlene TK Moses. Ghana needs that no-nonsense president. That person is Kennedy Japan. He's the only person who can govern this country without fear or favor. Active Boyo GH Ghana. We can only break the 8 with Honorable Kennedy Japan and Abugri Sharif for the buy. Oyibo Boateng or say Achuman Nebehim in Kumasi. No one can discuss the state of Ghana's economy without COVID. COVID forced government to close air borders sea borders, land borders, which prevent foreign inflows into the country. And active boy GH Ghana. But I'm watching you live from Accra. Dominic Danso, offer what did MPP party done better for this country, Ghana? And you use your radio station to talk about the flag bearership always. And on Susun Ubusa. Inti Ubetmia was appearing on 050 600 0909 050 600 0909. And it may be a phone line, so no. Na a special prosecutor no. Yahwe the empire yebama no. Se onyai a auction na and they also investigating no.
Needs FM.
Hey, catch it. Listen in here. And you ma beto to dia me baba no hwade no. Hwem so betumi a. Hey, asho. Hey, now beka. Ya John to mami ensa duku potomanto. This way chocolate drink. Na kan wo hwe afibian so beri ni waware ni a. This way chocolate drink. Na kan sia. Oh, asho. Wo den kan no tumu ho. Me be mo anu nso wo hye kura dia ka ho. Wo hwade a wapi ho. O ka sa batete e da fom won. This way chocolate drink.
Crash up a pair, Baba Warrior.
Aso,
Yefia said this way chocolate drink, ya sorry, no pan on yanum. Ye bishop free genome no snack. Yenya ho I don't yet serve womo. Ye did any a pebibia bogu yad yasua. This way chocolate drink in yanum. And at this one, what's yanua? Has it a wom, cocoa wom, pricky wom, bibia wom, I don't hear any socia.
This way chocolate drink.
You hear any socia.
FDA, I just said you didn't crack too much to say a yeah.
Cool, fresh and trendy with a new look. Makes you feel real good, that refreshing vibe. Satisfies you right just the way you like. Do you know? Do you know? Do you know? Ain't gotta do it alone. Specialized makes you glow. Anytime. Natural mineral water. Feel different. Think special. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Needs FM.
Needs 100.9 FM Suni. And then Wednesday, August 24, 2022. And the time just about gone 7 minutes past 3. Now, answer Anna, you better a special Obakan say emphasis on a customs. Any special prosecutors and Sabino. Yenni Kankura and Tie Yenuanum say almost understanding of say special prosecutor kura say Yamfa a bibia auction say ye cow, say ye normal, say ye frozen force who auctions na ya yenin no. Yamfa won klata in free July 2016. Emra Messi August 2021. Ukra what ya saying? Ansana ye more info as to say and tokwa ekoso ewo Ghana Revenue Authority. Ya na aye say ye pe obi agunanim ase in the end no na aye o my Ghana na say dwumakuo no wo mo de integrity aye adwuma no na ye gu adwuma no mum anim ase e die na ekoso Ghana Revenue Authority in the light of say OSP so de ho nsem ba no ye bedi ho nkomo awie de tewaso enko ba bia enim say ADAKABRI ma mudu wosuoma wone aye ni team apanyi kwadwo damiado na production sini na aso no ye na asem no esi a ye beka a kire wo ne kuro wo mo nyina no ye beka de a kire wo so ho no ye de no kure e be ye adwuma enti sabre we ye miefo na ne kakra say what do you make of say special prosecutor no auction ho nsem ye okay na ye kire say Ghana sofo nyina mo empire ma special prosecutor no imam fo nyina mo empire mfama no say special prosecutor no sa auction no say ohwehwemu no ma onyai no won toaso nyankopon mana kokoduro nyankopon ma no eye nyansa nyankopon mie na nima ne hunu beyond de wo hunu ne sese na ontimi nya bibi ema Ghana enyam fasode wuni a wo no ma si wono no mo bia nkokanto obi asum se na perishable goods bibia no ye perishable container ba ko gapo plug in 6 hours ebesi wo 3 days enye wute anu nti gapo asoso ta me kan ye no omo kan se ye be unplug bibia am obi abeka perishable senior staff association of gapo junior staff fo nyina monhwe se ma obia meka se yakọ unplug bibi nti ye perishable nti ebeyi obia meyiri no man kotua ne duty obia meyiri no man kotua ne duty ukotua duty asem bia ni ho wose ene auction ye nyaye nti auction no kokopɛ bosia na kokotua duty na yi no ma na de ya ne dada ne de yesuamfo obia di ni mra eno ma ye describe no ma ye de man no ye describe na eda ye auction ye de man no ye money dini ye money telephone number na ba bi ote na sa feel wafo mienu kwa na ye machine sorry amojije average of 10 million cedis every 40 days average of 10 million cedis every 40 days na wo nya sika so a momfa nya de papa wonkoti company bi emma womfa Ghana fo mrante ne maba wamfa nya adwuma wom wo to no de na feel wa wutimi eto Range Rover ma wo girl eto dan ma wo girl how na sika na kamo jeje no fo sakra no na do dan kwakufu ade na wada wo ma omadi wawu tankrofo ni mienu no omadi wawu papa fada kitu awie school how many years nie na what and some kwamte kwa no ba ko bi kwa de kwa brabetie nsem hunu kwa woka wo akwada ketwa na do dan kwa ma wakwanya e ma ba o say by the time na be kono or per $100 million at on account udim komotan time way kwada ketwa udim komotan time way say by the time na be kono or per $100 million at now no Vicky Hammer or cause wo per $1 million kwa no mahama nyina di
Can maybe say na no yin ediana.
Me tell the way me body di wa ha say. Miss me papa I don't know. Why you phone papa. Me testing ai. But that kit wedding come time way. Say me pay $100 million. As na just what so chire say. President na wo ma wa kwada kit wo ma chance no. Wanu wanya sen. Wanu wanya sen. Na mu didi komo basa sa. Nature say edu baby kwa nature to man kwala ni chance kura na asem na say yo
youth empowerment yes ye be ye ho afiri nkokrafo na anya chese
nkokrafo na anya za nkokra de bia wabobra bi kakra na woto da ma ne girl ya kan nwanwan sen na mo afeel wafo na mo ya kesesem wono yonko no kokwahwe what ministry hold the minister so na moto mu nyina bon eye frozen foods adai eno na
na mo so no dey help how
chese sika wo manya no yam ya
ana chese wofa
sika no manya no
na chese ngese bibi cause
ense ko munya se sika no eye skatantan saka kwagina sore dem se na me we nyana skatantan we
omo de be boa man no
aha tinka omo ti oye tuo no emu bedidi MPC na nka sika no what company kitua bia kra na young boys and girls na wo kra no omo ye adwuma ho ka yeso wi sika kra de akwa akro te samo pala kinkiti we no
na wo for owi sika no de ko bia company
enu kra na ka be sympathize
still
I can be sympathize
na ze ne
I can be sympathize say we de akrofo adwuma kra na me ye bia so agya me nsa koma no engene ngoma ka bia ma pala kinkiti di nkomotan tan we wanya sikanti man of God
ADAKABRI
na kwadanke tinkiti di nkomotan tan we say by the time na bewie no ne menya $100 million e wo account wo nim $100 million
ombeka sa onim dia ne na sisi nti a wo kasa
na we kwa ye didi nkomo
ofa me no ti e be di sa nkomo no
ye na so da ye investa kwada no mienu de omho ye ma shikra dodo sa panyini ma opportunity chamomra na adwuma ma fun we na moye ba ko amatu amu bon eye frozen foods ena ba ko susu nkomode mema no ho so sa palankete nkete
omo do mbeka minimum omo
na minimum
mbeka
se mhunu akwa wani enso ade
do munimu ano no asemu
unsese moye emrante ne nyeska sa so so ote na ayo bibibio
unto wa no aso mani su biro no mani su
na I said de o ma bobra
sa omo mo bra bia hute
ntia
Over 200 man.
Nanka sika kwa mumfanya de pa bi nanka president ni hokra. Na just nka mo kwa manya mfa so de. Mumfa konko ye bayire processing factory kura wo events kintampo.
Of a kinkai.
Nkinkai de menkinkai.
Kinkai ni nyoma so mo woni enko.
Abedru.
Kinkai bi nyoma so mo woni enko.
Ghana Revenue Authority. Intelligence yene. Me fa nyumba akuntwere mu ansa.
Anyunjom.
Ekuya Ghana wanamoni.
I had the sense. Of an enemy to say, Bompa bi. Aye. Na yen jina dia kuma ta sampai boneti. Onyame ma special prosecutor hoden.
Omana hoden.
No hwehwem.
Omana nimdia.
Hwe me koka baabi say. Ensema ebe piepia ba no.
Hwe.
Anhwe ya MPP supporters no. Abubefu.
Me so be kwa brumpanimfo bi sa kwada mi lu
Oba wuti. Auctions ni ade sabi onye obie no enye ye pese. Enka sabi obi be kra ne ma. Wa boka. Me ba me ti say wo kan frozen foods one asem.
Imagine
$40,000, $50,000 na di import. Oba no wantimi antua duty. Na ni papa mu asenka o se eja ye hwe. Ni ye bo ni pa adwuma na adwuma. Na se ye bete so ama na ye nte so ma no ntimi nyi na ni sika anhye. Na we die ofa me se me kuta ba ku bi me de be kire wo. So frozen foods are no ya tro mo bi so no nipa ni nkoto ya ni duty no. Ni duty nkoto 85,000.
85,000 cedis.
Original duty was nkoto ya no.
No.
Ya tro auction am obi 35,000.
Can you?
Na enai mu bi ofa. Enai mu bi. Ya be bodin already so.
Ai.
Me nipa kra de man no.
Ba bia ma no ma wi kakra ne say wo a yebo o machi ya no. Ba ko ya gina to hospital say.
Oh.
Ai tese na kuma nya dene.
Oni ho akoma.
Ai wa ya gina to hospital. Na unze ya na Ghana no aye was sympathy. Nti ya na ase
anye gaje ne say hospital ho no nko busa. Owura kanyo kwadwo damoa. Se nyame ama na kuma edin. Edin say ya di say ni nyina echi. Se la papa no. Nyame nshira kan kwadwo damoa.
We ya chance yes keke nti na no eye na ja.
Ofa me se kenkan de da wanim na tiefo opi. Tiefo opi.
Yeah, but with this studio and record more. Yeah, if it's a new album, you know what we're gonna.
Menkin kan fam das wa hu no.
Kenkan no. Yeah, we are near the nyum na tuato kenkan no.
Menkan is esi a.
Kenkan no.
Menkan is esi a.
Ofa ne ba kenkan yo.
The old Vian Hobo, every economist, the order
Right. Who should you need 100.9 FM? And come on, ye bedie. She what Jenny? If I call a year electoral commission, time are not Charlotte to say, were ye chairperson of the commission. Na a year the deputies me no. A year Upoku Amankwa. Ene Amadu Sule, no me deputies no. The course so ewo a man that august body, electoral commission. Afe no biya kabi. Ene Ghana Revenue Authority. Enim kwasesem ekoso under the able leadership of the whole Reverend Minister. Christian Council of Ghana, Pentecostal Council from the GPCC. Strong. The whole Reverend Minister, the leadership, our Ghana Revenue Authority, Commissioner General, no, Mia Madienina, Harry Usu the late. What now, do? Harry Usu the late. What now, da? Man of God.
Over.
Wouldn't as a Kwame Usu.
Yeah. Ura Kwame Usu ye.
Ura Kwame Usu ya.
Former friend say. Ghana Maritime Authority.
Kwame Usu.
Send the crew no na so twen. Me wa fa kan ye nyenjen.
Strong.
Na
ma menka bibi kitwe bi nkyerɛw. Afa na bo no miensa. Apa homiti aduo no. Efa Kwame Usu. Hwɛ. MPP ya nanipa bi agye aboso yi. Me kan kitwe bi. Wɔn mu dom sika aboa sa kuo wei. Ama ene kuo wei anya ba bia gina. Ma feel we bia ya takunim. Ene by virtue of the party no eba power no omanya baabi agina. Na omo anye ade a womo eba de be proud of. Na wo de aye nyina so. Hwe. Ta mo beti MPP no. Na eye enipa maako dumiensa from Dala Brothers. Na eye ku a omu nyina na omu ho ano na omu je omu hutum. Na achirei ena omu kosesa ano ena omu ye no Young Executive Forum. Na omu ye no Young Executive Forum no. Na koye emrantie nkuma omu pesika edi akọ supporto eye New Patriotic Party. Enti
Chairman McMahon. The indefatigable Chairman McMahon.
Asotwe McMahon.
Yeah.
McMahon.
Father baby obi amechiao.
Ekofa alanchirematen ba ye say. Wonu na we business eye che say Empretech obwa businessman fo. Enti womu ntimi gada na womu ensolicite enyigi sikam free businessman fo na womu fanya den emme support to MPP. No kwanie sika no amugigi ya no omu di ka de koma safuadu ya panyimpa panti wanyi sika na amfa na safuadu ka kire wo mu sai Hakman Kwame osu agema mi wofa Kwame na ka chem so baba be ka history na chem wofa Kwame ma twen wa chedodo wofa Kwame ma twen wa chedodo na safuadu say Hakman ana e wo se wo yesa adwuma no inti ye free Hackman and Hackman di animu sika no amrantie no Young Executive Forum no and no na Hackman di animu omode koto first dan kokomlemle ase ema MPP na adubu ahika wo betena mu eye Kwame Owusu asotwe Kwame Owusu and the card from America when the car no talk card ma adubu ahin amrantie yo and na manyinya ba bia atena na Kwame Owusu se Canada Japan baby judgmo de bedin ensankwala we no to ya to bi ma me se dubu an kura tena mu that is emrantie no a enne Mufri Samanya baby, I'm pam one free party no. Kwame Usu, the entire mania bra make Kwame Usu asem. Ghana Revenue Authority. Sir Finance Minister say, Pinema Kwame Usu nya Ghana enya boche. Kwame Usu no 1992. They were yet the man MPP no. The entire make Kwame Usu asem na se no. Tom view me chiao.
Of a Kwame baby obi e chiao.
Or no Shedu Yama party no. Shedu Yama party no. In 1992 Namu Wayne. Afi Kwame Usu. Yesi yama ne me Ghana Revenue Authority. Yampene na de oyeye e de ma professor the late venerable Professor Dubuahin. And I'm a mechanic to be a free one. Afi mun shannon so. Ghana Revenue Authority. Adia sofu mua Amisha die. Ni leadership koso Ghana Revenue Authority. Memo ni from Johnny Agbawu.
Piao.
And then you jump.
You jump offer.
You jump. Call. We are on the lookout for libel. Call. Official memo GRA. Johnny Agbawu no. And no tro de kokoma Assistant Commissioner Intelligence Yene.
Yo.
October 2021. And was a subject no a tax compliance exercise. Also the intelligence operation team led by John Agbawu, JRA 1. And the driver commenced tax compliance exercise on 7th October 2021. On the Aflao and Ho Road, the team intercepted 2 trucks at Bongbaria on the Aflao Accra Road with registration number GR 675911 and GT 850216. Immediately the trucks were intercepted. The owner of the truck with registration number GT 675916, known as Shatawale, placed a phone call and brought the phone to me to talk to someone allegedly from Commissioner Customs Office, which I refused. She brought the phone to me the second time and said someone called Kojobonsu wanted to talk to me. I again refused to talk to the person.
Officer de wo kind wood ye. Let's obi amfre Johnny Agbawu kro ni phone. Obi na di phone aba say obi so one na be kasa.
That a brofo minti ana.
Offer that be to aso what.
Ma de wo fie no entie.
Wo fa ate ase to aso.
Nti me sense obi mo say. Immediately the trucks were intercepted. The owner of the truck with registration number GT 675916, known as Shatawale, placed a phone call and brought the phone to me to talk to someone allegedly from Commissioner Customs Office, which I refused. She brought the phone to me the second time and said someone called Kojobonsu wanted to talk to me. I again refused to talk to the person. The third time, she said Kojobonsu said I should release the truck to go. At this point, I ordered the truck driver to move the truck to KIA barracks for further action. I personally boarded the leading truck with registration number GW675911, and I asked the second truck to follow with our official vehicle pickup with registration number GN 887914 to follow. On our way to KIA between Tema the third I personally boarded the truck with registration number GW675911, and I asked the second truck to follow with our official pickup with registration number JN887914 to follow. On our way to KIA between Temato Booth and Tetekwashi Runabout, I received a call from this number 0244 440119. A lady claiming to be a custom officer ordering me to release the truck or face the consequences.
Yeah.
After a couple of minutes, the driver received a call, and because he was driving, placed it on loudspeaker. I heard a male voice ordering the driver not to obey by sending the truck to KIA barracks, but to make sure he ran away with the truck. At this point, I called the police officer who was with us earlier but left due to writing of his promotional exam for assistance. At Tetekwashi roundabout, I asked the driver to follow the road that leads to KIA barracks, but he ignored me and sped off towards Abekala Pass. Between Tetekwashi roundabout and Jowlu traffic light, the driver stopped and asked me to alight for some boys in the vehicle to get down. Immediately I got down for the boys to alight. The owners of the goods, who were following the truck in a private car, pushed me unexpectedly, and the truck driver sped off. I quickly stopped a taxi and asked the driver to chase the truck, and caught up with the truck at Jowulu traffic light. There, I sought the assistance from the Motor Traffic and Transport Department police officers, who helped me to stop the truck. The owner of the truck, GW675911, named Nanama, and two other women with her started shouting that drew the attention of the crowd, including officers from the National Intelligence Bureau. They mentioned Kojo Bonsu and some officers named that this officer called me to release the truck to them, but I refused, so they would not allow me to take the truck to KIA barracks. They even asked the driver to move the truck and kill me if I stand in front of the truck. At this point, the officers from the National Intelligence Bureau used their truck, their pickup vehicle to block the truck from moving. Later, some custom officer came, and together with the officer from the National Intelligence Bureau, the truck was escorted to KIA barracks for further action. John Agbau.
Okay.
Mamu Fiso say.
Can we so?
Mamu Fiso say. Yeah, yes, a story. I'm not going to Ghana web. Say, na come.
The okay can.
Commissioner General
Yanko
Ghana Revenue Authority Accra on 28th October 2021 and a year confidential memory at the command Ministry of National Security. Sofumwa
na chiro de obekin
kan. Sofo echiro yen.
But report here.
But importers through a flower border. Reports indicate that a customs intelligence team of the Custom Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority, led by John Agbau, with assistance from operatives of the Special Monitoring Team, SMT, of the National Intelligence Bureau, on 8/10/2021, intercepted and arrested two cargo trucks.
Date Ben or boy, you know.
Or say, a year 8th of October 2021. Intercepted and arrested two trucks at Jowlu traffic light near Fiesta Royale Hotel in Accra on suspicion of under-declaration and misdescription of goods. 2. Guarded the trucks with registration number GW 695713 and GT 850216 from Aflao. Upon arrest, were escorted to the Customs Laboratory Division at the airport runabout for re-examination. 3. It was revealed after the re-examination that a substantial number of goods in the trucks were under-declared and thus no duties were paid on same. Kindly find attached the phone call be hamisa, phone call be hamisa. And I phone coming to me.
I'm confused.
The phone call be hamisa. Mommy and can we? Na Ghana for you says you can't wait.
Can we?
I say gathered the trucks with registration numbers GW695713 and GT850216 from Aflao. Upon arrest, were escorted to the Customs Laboratory Division at airport runabout for re-examination. It was revealed after the re-examination that a substantial number of goods in the trucks were under-declared and thus no duties were paid on same. Kindly find attached the list of declared and undeclared goods in the trucks. It needs stating that during the interception, the traders were discourteous towards the arresting officers, with one of them allegedly placing a call to Colonel Damwa.
Of a dog first, no caso be African or Damwa.
Hallelujah.
And we can't trust her.
Yawu Christo.
Of a to us, so Bessa Bobody Bufro. When the Motias, yes, Colonel Damwadia Yeboin, a just deliberate attempt to hear the Begu Papa and Matake. I want almost start to plot this. Let me.
Date in a year, October 22 received, but
yeah, no.
2021.
Me da say. And then I bad news I can want some.
And then I bad news I
and I bad news because they are planning another one. I'm fancy. Young Kofa the Chamuna, you're planning ya Anya Dumano. Or something.
Or say,
and on where boarding. On where after them
confidential.
Absolutely.
Hey. It needs stating that during the interception, the traders were discourteous towards the arresting officers, with one of them allegedly placing a call to Colonel Damwa in capital letters. Commissioner CDGR. Subsequently, Agbawu received a call from one Kodobonsu, staff officer to the commissioner, instructing him to release the trucks unconditionally. Further, Agbawu received another call from Aduche, Deputy Commissioner for Operations.
Into the target in Indiana. I cannot damwa and Aduche. And I know Kasei. Yet in some way, for Aduche Ama, Commissioner General Crow Tron Proletary as a candidate to Finance Ministry in every customs.
Suffer
and not suffer.
Received another call from Aduche, Deputy Commissioner for Operations, CDGR.
And also Yantro,
who also
of a letter.
Additionally, the trader who placed the call to Colonel Damwa recorded the arresting officers on video to be forwarded to him, Ojo Damwa.
Of a point, Ben, I can't see on 5. 5 now, kind of.
5 now, kind of.
Okay. And it's be the next page. Be the next page. Never a letter, no.
6. Given the implications of this development, particularly those related to the tax evasion on the domestic revenue mobilization efforts of GRA, your outfit is urged to investigate the matter and update this ministry accordingly. Your outfit is further urged to take necessary steps to prevent senior officials from undermining the work of custom officers at the various custom checkpoints across the country. Regards, Edward Asomeni, Deputy National Security Coordinator for National Security. Copy, Honorable Ken Ufuriata, Ministry of Finance.
Of our way, you know.
Marie.
Wait.
Kawasumo.
A response. Officers are Yabubo Mudino. I respond here. I do tell you about the response in of a kind. The response.
The response in I say GRA Operations Obli Custom Memorandum to Commissioner General from Deputy Commissioner Operations, October 28, 2021. Subject: retax evasion by importers through a flower border. Reference to NSCS 428 volume 4/5713 of 2020, 21st October 2021. My name has been heavily soiled when I do not know anything about the false allegation. I've given my comments to the Commissioner General. I've given my comments to the Commissioner, Customs Division, to set up any independent investigative committee to unravel the truth and those behind the Machiavellian machination brought to book.
Nyametiase.
I do not know that task force, and I do not know John Agbawu, a common driver who was once sacked and reinstated. Neither do I have his contact nor called him. What an impudence to call a junior rank officer John Agbawu to do something I myself would never attempt to do.
Deputy commissioner in charge of operations. Hey! Anna John Chrono.
Bible letter so yes. Plan now what the and the brain or back John Agbawu and yet because John Agbawu not to me confront and say Debbie Commissioner Sofono when your customs na wuguno when your pesikanie eye can operate a wo pesikanie
offer to a letter so
what an impudence Yahweh Christo hallelujah I say what an impudence to call a junior rank officer John Agbawu to do something I myself would never attempt to do. For it is against my professional ethics and conduct. I have been to special prosecutor for 5 times, and I proved to Mr. Matamidu of my innocence. This is my candid opinion. I have been traumatized by this defamation. I call for urgent independent investigative committee to prove my innocence. And now, to clear my name. If I am exonerated, I need compensation for defamation for causing me pain, stress, and mental torture. If nothing is done, I shall consult my lawyers and sue John Agbawu, his boss, and the National Security who signed the report to you. I know Customs Intelligence Team of Customs Division, headed by Seidu and Boniface, reports to you, and John Agbawu is working for them to tarnish my name. I want justice, sir. Joseph Eduche, Deputy Commissioner Operations.
Of our area, no. What he did now, a Joseph Eduche boy, no. What about one Boniface?
Nimo guase. And ye church de kono. And ye church ye wurade. I feel Commissioner General TA. I say memorandum to Commissioner Customs Division from Staff Officer Comset CD October 28, 2021. Tax evasion by importers through a flower border. I said this has reference to letter dated October 21, 2021 on the above subject matter. I respectfully wish to state emphatically and for the records that I, Nana Kojo Pokubonsu, PRO, and Staff Officer of Commissioner Customs have no knowledge of any purported arrest of goods or trucks said to contain unaccustomed goods. Further, I wish to state all the allegations stated in the letter against me are untrue, unsubstantiated, inaccurate, and same should be dismissed. Sir, I must specifically state that I've never placed or received any calls whatsoever to 1 John on the 8th of October 2021 to release any goods or trucks he, John, has intercepted unconditionally as alleged. Therefore, I find it strange, surprised, and preposterous to receive a letter on the 27th of October which sought to cite me for unsubstantiated, untrue, frivolous allegations against my hard-earned reputation.
As I
will be grateful if a copy of the arresting officer's report will be sent to me as well for onward submission to my lawyers for further action. At the receipt of the letter on the 27th of October 2021 at 13:47 hours, I called John in the presence of one Moses in Bayela, office clerk, and placed the call on speaker. John denied ever mentioning my name in his report to the superior.
John now a true for
what's the one? No,
what's the one more than a kodoboku bonsudi wa baby.
John denied ever mentioning my name in his report to his superior and confirmed that he never spoke to me on the day he made his arrest. And my lawyers and I will be available anytime to assist the investigation team on this matter. Nana Kojo Poku Bonsu.
Of a fay, Jinakin cannot Kojo da more response.
Ahoya!
Oh, Tini Kojo. The response of Troy.
Ahoya!
Now, Tiene Brofnet, Commissioner General Brof, what was the Commissioner General of Bon?
Sofumwa!
Can't free her.
Sofumwa, ne can't run.
Can't free Kojo response, no.
I respectfully wish to state emphatically and for the records that
there be me say kind free baby I'm a chere wono
baby a chere me no
ai baby I'm the red pen assign no me here baby of our
baby I'm
baby I can
red pen actually no
nya ho
I feel one na neam
any red pen in red pen fufuro here o
what to be
of yanko ahoya
what's it I've lived a meaningful life
piao.
Please find the following as my initial response as requested by minute 2. A. Paragraph 4 and 5 of letter made allegations against me, Kojo Bonsu, that is Nana Bonsu, and Aduche in respect of an arrest made on October 8, 2021. B. I ask for comments from Mr. Aduche and Mr. Bonsu on relevant paragraphs related to them with a view to adding my own comments as appropriate. Both senior officers have denied vehemently placing or making any calls to Mr. John Agbawu as alleged in paragraph 4 and 5, vide minutes 0405 Supra. I wish to state emphatically and deny categorically that I never received any call from any impulse star as alleged. Additionally, I never asked Mr. Bonsu to call the said John Agbawu. D. Furthermore, it may be pertinent to know that but for the letter from National Security, I had no information about the arrest for which I am wrongly accused of wrongdoing. E. It is quite unfortunate that such serious, unfounded, unsubstantiated, frivolous, and vexatious allegations could be made against me by a person bent on destroying my hard-won reputation of over 30 years of public service. The mischief in the conspiracy against me is evident when one examines critically the combined effect of paragraph 4 and 5 of reference. In paragraph 4, for instance, it is stated prudently, and I quote, with one of the alleged placing a call to Colonel Damwa, Commissioner CDGRE, unquote.
That's Commissioner Custom Division.
However, strangely, in paragraph 5, the letter mischievously states, and I quote, additionally, the trader who placed the call to Colonel Damwa recorded the arresting officers on video to be forwarded to him. certainly without any proof or importer. It has been concluded in the last sentence of paragraph 5 that the trader had placed the call to me, after which Nana Bonsu is alleged to have given some instruction to Mr. Agbau. G. It may be useful to state that I went to Akanu Nuape with the Honorable Minister for Foreign Affairs and Thomas Mbomba, MP, on same day, October 8, 2021, to meet with the Togolese delegation and the Commissioner for Infrastructure of the ECOWAS Commission for a ministerial meeting on the operationalization of the Akabno Nuape joint border post.
Yo.
A joint communique signed that day by Honorable Thomas Mbomba for Ghana and Mrs. Zuarhatu Kasa Toure, Togolese Minister for Public. Hey! Top work has already been sent to Commissioner General, the Ministries of Finance, Ministry of Trade and Industry, Transport, Roads and Highways, and shows my presence at that meeting. From Akanu Nuape, the Honorable Deputy Minister and I went to a flower border post for the Honorable Minister to familiarize himself with the place as a first-time visitor. We left Aflao after 7 p.m. on that fateful day and arrived in Accra at about 10 p.m. H. I wish to reiterate that I did not receive any call from the so-called importer associated with the arrest of the said 2 cargo trucks, and I anxiously welcome any further investigations into the matter. For instance, I would like to know the identity of the importers and may also wish to see the custom documentation associated with clearance of the goods public consignments. I, consequently, have initiated an independent investigation into this matter as requested by Mr. Duche and Mr. Bonsu, who feel that defamatory publications have been made against them and have indicated their intentions to take appropriate legal action as of right to redeem their reputation. J. Respectfully submitted for your appropriate action. Please, Colonel Damwa, retired, Commissioner Customs.
Offer.
Hey!
What kind responses in you know? Letter also for Sanchoye. And the Command National Security Bureau.
When you actually know, Ghana Revenue Authority, the Deputy National Security Coordinator, National Security Accra, DSEC, dated November 29, 2021. DSEC, retax evasion by importers through a flyover border. Reference your letter October 21, 2021 on the above subject matter. I wish to inform you that the letter was referred to all the officers whose name appeared on the said letter for their comments responses. All the officers denied that they made or received calls from any importer whatsoever on that day. Meanwhile, a report submitted by John Agbau, Appendix A, on the incident interception of trucks with registration number GW6957 and GT850216 did not mention the names of the officers as having placed a call to him or talked to him or someone else's phone. The number of the person who called John Agbau on that day was stated in his report as 0244440119. It is instructive to note that the Commissioner Customs in his response, Appendix B, vehemently denied the said allegation. The Deputy Commissioner Operations response is also denied the said allegation, Appendix C. I suggest also, as requested by the Deputy Commissioner, that the National Investigation Bureau be allowed to conduct further investigation on the matter. Many thanks for your cooperation. Reverend Dr. Amishadai Owusu Amwa, Commissioner General.
Offer. Enti say, oh, suffer. Who read Johnny letter or Troye? Now read your suffer, Eddie Car, Etana and them, a Jenny Bonnet fan in the say, wait, dear, mammy, from women and any massy. Now, yeah, Amfa. Now, offer after 1 year. I feel no release this letters, the Ama media. Hey, I'm from Canada, Modimasi. Dear from Canada, Modimasi. Offer letters, I can carry the whole. A muda ho Ghana for a program not say. Dear me person may come a Ghana for you and say NPP4 should rise up and fight against these people who are not our members in government. NPP should stand up and fight against and profile in this government. Opa, yeah, me could another a letter do her. Come working kind also. Quadra more day now on the 8th of October, no. Now we're in crime. Waka baby, I know. Signatures almost inside that day. I will let away so. Meetings on air, you honorable minister.
commissioner nankasa wasada no ho te say the nyoni di kan twero first.
What's out your first letter no?
E bia na twero ma no.
I didn't know dia trosa. What's up for mu a?
Na so for we.
What no we Daniel go South Africa.
Oko vacation.
So ne counterpart we kwana we kwana tu ba ko ne baba enche buga no so puwam. No maduane. O mu du boni ni wi no maduane Afrika mu. No makoteta ase do mu ni mu hwe. Emudu ano masaba. And these are the people. Yes so omo so e MPP aban mu. Ofa. E MPP aban mu. Eti amusa misadai ye adwuma. So up tax e dey MPP. Na matimi achieve mu aim ana. It's a lie. General Secretary of the MPP, Justin Frimpong Kodua, I want you to look into these matters. Check the backgrounds of those people. If you like that. John Nasema. I think it can say team now. Permission them and crop for the group nobody this free traders in the and I'm going to tell you in 2019 I Canada Mobile Commissioner Customs omiti all the enti oba isiri jeje akwan so abranti aye
John no
enkrofo so wotimi de car koda hotel no o twen cars na eba no no wajeje e de akoma ne bosses na o report ma wo no enti Canada mo so original so okay meyi customer business ni nyina fi kwa anim now mo am wo boda ne so mo make it I got 10,000 no Offer anyone who met it.
Nya who met them.
I need power no fighting for the interests of the state, you know. Individual you free.
Na Professor Lumumba can refi. We got to fight corruption keke.
And then
corruption will fight.
Good papa anymore say. Every chair come mark down. One mark you La Bianca down. 5% in T. Commissioner General, I see where you do chair free ho. And I'm daring Commissioner General on one casane letter of a Brown working kind. Mark down Sahudo. Interesting days ahead. Offer. Me say, one my Offer me bro documents. Documents upon documents are Commissioner General Nankasa. Now, Ocho letter be was next month. Or cancel sir, or say me letter me. Offer, I can't remember say.
As a Yapon.
The Academy me fanka auctions in 7 years or in co.
Yapon.
Hear me papa. And me kwa kawo baby bloggers I done it and means about me cause me say and some woman me jema MPP ebegu. That is not the case. But me so I am very happy. Sir Offer. Nyame adom. Special prosecutors also investigating friends auctions. Offer started 2009 di kan. Offer started 2009.
Oni ka me nya bibi. O say 2016
ka
me nya bibi.
2016 kreye. Because honum na NDC for ton niema rough. But media most MPP for be so near break call say on started some investigation from 2009.
On shebi bi ase.
It was started from 2009.
Based on the obehunu no. Obenya reason akona.
They tosumi special prosecutor. Auctions in Kwanisa. The allocations in Naka home. Allocations.
And then
of a mamin church. Oko auction unity wa. Womo, emrani mo mo kwan so mo metena bonten. No mo nchechim se ni mu kire wo. Na ye no ma, ye de ye twama ye hwehwe ansam no, yetimi ka bi. Alpha. Oma ye omumra. Say ye gazette ni ema ni wi a, ye dividing into 4. Of atie ni ye. Party fo ntie. Who so the ntie? Tinkaja almost a bre party ni ho almost nye omunkopa besia no metuatua nkakra no almost nya bi no mun benefit ba 70% ni nyina no oma ye sala ye tua the reason why that prosecutor why investigate your locations ni nyina eno ti no mani abresa refa no ena yi besan ena Mama de mre Mampanye kufu adwuma wa ye no keni kwase party fu su de we omusu no but enkrofo bi obi greedy yawo Kristo e wona ban mu nti yawo Kristo party fu da susu yawo Kristo omo kekam yawo Kristo Justin Frimpong kodua meto so anu ma sorry national team and civil team meto so anu ma sorry unu team money office ni money ni entra church ni family na mo fa party fu media best
Yabasi that's kupa mana na kwajo ya bua kajeje ya bua na yawo Kristo amen. Yapo.
Some frɛ me na memfa. Munyai, some frɛ me na memfa.
Ola kwa kuma ikina diye be kofio. Na yesera this one diye be kwa kodru jojo. Kutina tie needs 100.9 FM.